morning is your stretch strap. I like a 6-foot one. Longer ones are kind of nicer so that you can get them underneath your foot and not feel you're sort of yanking too hard. So just find yourself in a bit of a lateral rotation. Shoulders are relaxed down. Think of from pubic bone, belly button, rib cage. Gently draw the abdominals up and in. Doesn't have to be too super tight. We're just not weight bearing heavy into it at this point. And I'm holding the tails fairly equal, shoulder width distance. And I'm just going to bring that up and then just open it a little bit as it comes around and then fold your hands. So we're going to come up and bring it through. And if you want to, you can start to lift that heart a little bit as you take it around back. So as I come back up, I'm going to lift my heart a bit and then just bring it straight forward and go ahead up, pull it a little bit, lift the heart. On this one, we're going to roll down with it. So just place your hands on your quads, roll it down, think angry cat here. Round it up vertebrae by vertebrae, pull on that elastic a little bit or that band and reach it behind you. Go one more time, lift the heart a bit here. Fists go down towards your quads. You're going to round down, get as deep as you want. Slowly come up. Bring that band, open it, bring it all the way around back again. Fold your hands so your palms are facing backwards and then press that away and bring it home. Watch as you press away or go into extension through the shoulder. You're not rounding forward. You're staying open so the movement really is the shoulder girdle. Go ahead, press one more time. Unfold the hands, bring it all the way around and bring yourself down as deep as you want to go, either to the ground or to your elbows, to your knees, and get a little bit of mobility here from left to right. So if you're feeling good, those fists can go down, you can get a little deeper, you can start to spiral through your hips a little bit. Find inhale nose, exhale mouth, and just get those toes warmed up with that spiral. And then leave the heels down if you can get them. My heels are not quite down. Leave yourself getting a little stretch here. And then press your hips and legs up towards straight and let yourself just dangle down. So you're looking through your legs, relaxing, and giving a very gentle wiggle from left to right. If this is too deep, sneak your elbows up to your quads and give yourself a bit of support here. Bend those knees if you need to. And then fully bend the knees, drop the tailbone, slowly come up, turn those hips back into parallel, bring that band all the way around, and then just hold it with a little bit of space behind your back and pulling on a bit. Bend the elbows and reach. So I feel like I want a little more tension here. I'm going to grab it a little tighter, and then I'll feel a bit more stretch as I pull it down. So as you pull it down, you want the resistance there, but it's not going to be enough to give you a burn in this movement pattern by any means, but it should be enough to give you a stretch in your pecs. So as you're doing it, if you can reach the arms a little farther but still bend the elbows, go right ahead. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis, you're allowing your curves to occur. Go one more time, press that open, bring it all the way through. In parallel position, round it down, and you're an angry cat, hands on the quads. Push your tailbone out, find yourself into your neutral squat position. Exhale, round a little deeper as you come up, angry cat. Inhale down, exhale round. So really tucking that tailbone under. If you want to help a little bit more of the tuck, slide your hands behind your legs and pull with your arms slightly, which will get that tailbone tucking around a bit more. And then finish your last one, roll it all the way up. Stack those shoulders and just give me protraction, retraction, elevation, and depression. So just rolling through. Inhale, exhale as you go, and then switch directions on that scapular movement. And then I'm just going to underhand grip my band quite wide open, and I'm just going to offer out my arms as I squat it down and bring it in. So your legs can be as wide as you feel comfortable. I've gone to at least shoulder width distance. If you want a small little turnout, go ahead. It's not a massive one. So let's go 4 more. Just reaching it forward. 3 more. Stick your booty back, neutral spine, neutral pelvis, don't let it tuck, and then stay here and just lower and lift the arms. I've got a little bit of tension My thumbs are pointing to the outside, and I am pulling on that band slightly to get that tension happening into the shoulders. Now go ahead and leave those arms reaching. Lift your heels, lower your heels. This might be very subtle, or you can lift higher if you're able to. Mine's quite subtle. Make sure you're rolling up on the big toe, second toe, third toe. So you're feeling that balance point, so the ball of foot is nice and strong. One more little lift, and then lower it down, reach the arms down to the floor, send that booty to the sky, drop down into your hamstring stretch, give it a little no down here. Let your head dangle at the top of your spine, and then give a little yes. Look to the pubic bone, look to the floor. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, soften as you come all the way up. Bring your feet into tighter sits bones, and just hold your palms open. And then that's about waist distance. And I'm pulling my thumbs to the outside, so there's tension there. I'm going to rotate, pull that thumb to the back wall a bit more, but don't let your pelvis go. And then exhale, bring it center. Inhale, rotate the other way. Exhale, center, stand nice and tall. We are in neutral, and we're just adding that beautiful rotation. Go one more time, and back to center. Now let's rotate, and then add a little flexion, offering out with your band. So reach that out, and then stack your spine, and then come back to the center. Rotate, offer it out, round the spine, reach it through. Inhale, stack to tall. Exhale, center. Take your hands wider, reach them up, and let's go into lateral. So pull with the bottom arm, pull it in so you're straight up and down, vertical to the earth. Push those hands away, lean your hips in opposition, and breathe into that. Look to the floor. Pull down on that hand as you slice the other hand through the air, and feel that stretch on your lateral. Go ahead and let go with the arm and just stir your pot. Big inhales, exhales. This is a hard place to get inhale, exhale nice and big, but go ahead and breathe that in. And then just slide your hand into that band again, rotate to the floor, come around with what would look like hundreds position in standing, and then peel to tall. Reach it up, relax your shoulders, over to the other side. Pull it in so it's perpendicular to the floor, and then push both arms actively as you lean your hip the opposite direction. Pull down with that hand on the bottom, but deny the dropping of the top hand. So you're really actively reaching as you pull down on it. It'll pull into the stretch a bit more. Big breaths into the intercostals. Again, hard place to find that breath. One more big breath. And then let that arm go. Stir that pot. Let your arm just go loose, and then stir the other direction. Sneak your hand back into position. Fold it down. And then go through the center, stack yourself back to the center. Nice and wide, and let's go into that figure eight. So start deeper into your squat, and then take a little tension into your band. One hand goes over the other, so you sort of fold it open, lengthen into lateral, open into extension, down into lateral, spin it around. And then do it again. Big inhale. Exhale. Let's switch directions here. Other direction. Get a lateral, get extension, get a lateral, and then flexion at the bottom. One more time. And we're going to stay at the bottom here, guys. We're going to stay at the bottom. Heel toe your legs a little wider open. So you're quite wide open with your stance. We're going to get into a shoulder stretch here. You're going to slowly extend the legs to straight. Take the band behind your back. Hold it as tight as you can, and then let those arms drop down over top. So you're just stretching, and I'm giving a little wiggle here. If you can have your hands closer, go ahead. I'm moving my thoracic spine, and I'm just wiggling out as I drop forward. If this is not comfortable for you, go ahead and just put your hands on your quads. Then bend the knees. Actively reach as you lift your chest up, coming up strong. Bend the knees if you need to. And then from here, push those hands back as you extend open. Big breath here. And then bring it all the way back into neutral. Beautiful. Go ahead and put that band at the front of your mat. Open up so you've got tails equal on both sides. We're going to do a little bit of standing here, you guys. So have it at the very end, and then we're going to free flow a little bit first before we actually step onto it. So go ahead at the very end of your mat, reach your arms, come around the corner, find your hands on the ground, walk it out in 4, 3, just a cat position on 2 and 1. So you're not really worrying about that band yet. Spread out your fingers, uncurl your toes, a couple little sternum drops. So I'm in a neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and I've already warmed up those shoulders, but now I really want to find that scapular position. So protractions and retractions. Let's go 2 more, push away. And 1. Now stay in the pushed away and let's thread the needle. Take one hand, thread it down to your opposite knee, rotate your shoulder. If you can get your shoulder down to the ground, go ahead. The other arm actively reaches and then anchor it behind your back, rotate that spine. Nice big breath here, you guys. And then bring the hand down, push away, actively come out. Take this hand as it comes out and rotate it up to the sky. Nice big breath there, and then bring that hand down to the floor nice and strong. Thread the needle the other direction. Thread it through, get your shoulder down there. Now if you can't get the shoulder down, and it's only your head that you're putting weight on, don't bring that hand up. That's a little hard on the neckline. Anchor that shoulder behind your hip. Nice big breath. Bring the hand down, push away with power. And then you're going to rotate that hand up the opposite direction. See if your vision can go there. And then bring it back to center. Curl the toes and just kind of look through your legs and get that active curl. So I'm trying to open up those big toes, that second toe, and I'm just kind of going back and forth into my hips. Quite neutral in the spine. And then stay back there, sinking into the hips. Walk your hands up and let's put some more pressure into those toes. Beautiful. So from here, I'm going to actively reach my hands behind my back and put them together. Now, if I can't do that, grab your band. I know both of you guys can. So push that down through your hips and then open that up. From here, bring this up off your hips and pull your hands, if you can, away from your booty. Looking straight forward, or if you're okay with it, a little thoracic and cervical extension. A little bit of arrow pose here. Inhale, exhale. Huge stretch on the pecs. One more breath and that anterior deltoid. And then sink back. Unfold the hands, whatever that is called. Roll those shoulders. Bring your hands back into place. Paddle out those toes a little bit. So little pins and needles, get rid of that sensation. And then we're just going to do some cat-cow. So go ahead, inhale here, tuck your tailbone, roll your spine into angry cat. Not too much of a butt squeeze, maybe a little bit. Sink your hips back to your booty, and then reach those fingers what feels farther forward. We're still very rounded. Come up and you're rounded, and then untuck your tailbone, go into your cow, peek up and push the tailbone away. Start at that tailbone, roll it up, nice big angry cat. Inhale, sit back into your hips. I've gone up onto my fingertips and I'm trying to walk my fingers farther forward. So I feel this whole line of my lat getting stretched out. And then come back into your 4-point. And then go through into your angry cat, into your cow. And then settle into your neutral again. So watch here, you haven't gone into flat back, right? You still have a little bit of curve there. Curl your toes under. Let's do a short plank. Take an inhale, short plank 1, lift an inch. Hang out. Watch you're not sinking in your shoulders. Your knees and your shins are parallel to the floor. And we're just going to hang out here for 5, 4, pull your belly buttons into your spine, 3, 2, now either down dog or child's pose. I'm going up to down dog. Drop the heels down, sink into your chest line. Too tight, lift the heels, bend the knees. Give me 2 or 3 nice big breaths here and wiggle your neckline. Now if you can't move the neck, shift your shoulders away from your ears. Then come out of your shoulders a little bit. So instead of being down in the shoulder stretch, come out so you can go into your paddling. And just move from left to right on your feet. Stretching out those toes just a little bit more here. Excuse me. Inhale, exhale. Now find yourself, walk your hands just a little farther forward, pull forward and find yourself in plank. Traditionally, this is done in a neutral spine. I like a small tuck, and let's go pouncing cat, back and forth. Inhale, exhale. We're going to add a pounce forward with one leg coming to the outside of your hand, whichever leg you want to go with. Let's go here. So pounce that forward, drop into the hip a little bit, get a stretch, and then bring it back. Pounce it forward, spend a moment here getting a little stretch, and then pounce it back. Let's pounce it forward, stay here this time, drop that knee, and then rotate that chest open to the sky. Really big breath here, you guys. Look to that back hand if you can. Bring that hand down, lift the knee, push your hips back, and go again. Remember, you can do this whole set with the knees down. Rotate open, nice big breath, and then bring that hand down, push the hips back, and then go ahead and bring the knees down, uncurl the toes, pull yourself forward so your pubic bone goes forward, and then slowly lay that down. Let's get those back extensors warmed up a little bit. So my hands are in what would be swan position, shoulders kind of in line with my thumbs, legs open, comfortable. I'm doing a swan, half swan 1. So I'm just gonna push into my palms and lift up. I'm not pushing into my elbows stay down. Rib cage stays just connected at the very end, and the pubic bone is firmly down. Gently bring that down. Let's do it again. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, press it up. Elbows stay down, shoulders shift into back pockets, belly buttons pull into spine. Legs are parallel, open as comfortable. And bring it down. If it's more comfortable for you to have a turnout, please go ahead. Press that up, relax the neckline, and bring it down. This time we're going to hold it up there and kind of get more into Sphinx. So hold it up, retract your shoulders down, pull your abs up and in. Your ribs could lift off this time. It's not your half swan. Shoulders down, and the head is just in line with the spine, right, with that thoracic. Find your breath here. Really pull your belly button up off the floor. Warming up the back extensors and those arms. One more breath. And then turn your elbows out to the side, let yourself come down, give a little booty wiggle. So I'm just going to wiggle my tailbone from left to right. My head is into my forehead. My head is into my forehead. My forehead is into my palms or the back of my hand, and I'm just wiggling. So bring those hands back around to your chest, more like you're holding a push-up, right? More like a push-up. So not half swan, push-up. Give me a slightly supported spine and press away. Hinge your hips, and we're actually going to steal that band for this exercise. We're going to wrap it around, and we're going to go into our push-up 1 or 2, depending on where you want the legs. If you're feeling ambitious and you want to go 3 and bring the knees off, you can. I'm going to keep my knees down. So pull this tight, so your hands are just holding, and then find yourself into your push-up position. Bring the torso forward, and we're going down in 3 breaths. We're going to go inhale, 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 exhale, push away. Inhale, 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 exhale, push away. And we lost Kylie there, so just give me 2 seconds while I pop up and get her on. Inhale, 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 exhale. So it's down, deeper, deeper, press away. So I'm holding a supported pelvis, neutral spine. This can definitely be done neutral, neutral. Let's go 2 more, down, down, press. Welcome back, Kylie. And 1 more, down, down, press. Push your hips back. Carefully walk your hands back and come up into your kneeling. So we're going to do air push-ups here. So my hands are still in the same place. I've now tightened up a little bit on my band, and I'm going to push and bring it through. So think more flies. I'm coming around the corner. So I'm bringing it together and pushing it away. If you want more tension, tighten up the band. Go 1 more. Now hold it pressing away. Bring one arm open to the side and rotate your spine. This hand is still reaching to the front. Now this one's reaching to the back. Hips are forward, rotation in your spine. Bring your back hand back to the middle. Full tension here. Now take your top hand, reach it behind, look to that back hand. Your other hand is reaching forward. And then slowly bring it back. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. Sweep just the one arm. Rotate with that one arm. Big breath here. Exhale, bring it back. Eyes cut the room in half. Chin stays parallel to the floor. Reach the other hand. Rotate it around. Big inhale. Get your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, bring it forward and release that out. Go ahead and place that. You might need to kind of move forward. Place that quite far forward at the front of your mat. Scoot yourself back again. Hands nice and strong. Let's do a down dog and lift up. Give a little prancing back and forth. And we're just going to drive one knee in and out, and then we're going to place it eventually on that mat or on that band. So I'm going to find myself in my plank. I'm using a supported pelvis. I'm going to drive one knee in. Yep, and then I'm going to push it away. I'm going to drive it in, press it away. When I press away, I like to flex my foot at the top here as I hit this little flamingo position and press. We're going to go into a little attitude here, you guys. First one is arabesque. So reach it out and then rotate your hip open. From there, bend your knee, and you're trying to look at that heel, in theory. If you can, fabulous. Rotate the hip back to square and then drive this leg as far forward as you can. Now, I didn't get mine far enough to hit my band, so I'm going to lift up my hips and I'm going to reset. I'm going to come back in so I can get that foot on that band. From there, bend it down and grab your tails equal on both sides. Wrap your hands, if you find you have any issues with the hands, up on the ball of foot on the back leg. And then I'm tapping you in the sternum bone. So instead of staying forward, you've tapped and you're tall. Bring your back leg in just a little bit and lunge down. So the back leg is bending on this lunge. Yeah, and then we're going to do an upright row with that. Pull. Pull. Down and lift. Down and lift. So as you push away from the floor, you're rowing your arms up out to the side. Let's go 2 more. And 1. Now stay in the pressed up. Rotate your back foot into what would be like warrior. Here you might need to wiggle it out farther. You're going to have to relax on the tension on that hand holding the band. Back hand is just resting. It's just resting. Yep. And then we're going to start a rotation. Tense up that band as tight as you want it. I'm fighting with my band today. There it is. So I'm drawing that elbow high. I haven't started to dip into the legs, but I'm going to. So now dip and push that leg to straight as you rotate open. Yes. Dip and pull. Draw those abs in. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1. And then bring that down. Take your band, toss it to the sides. Take this arm and either rest it on the knee, reach up, or down along the inside, reach up. Or if you can get down there and do bind, go ahead. This hip for me, absolutely not. But if you've got bind, please go ahead. And let's hold for 5, 4, breathe it, 3, 2, bring that hand down, rotate, and drop your back knee. Yes. And let's just push in and out from that hip flexor. Getting a little stretch there into the hip flexor, you guys. Just rocking it back and forth, nice and slow. And then go ahead, stay in that push forward. Lift your heart, reach one arm, reach both arms. Feels good, grab the back leg. Feels really good, grab it with both hands. Rotate your shoulders forward and get that quad stretch, hip flexor stretch. Everything kind of saying hello here. Couple really good inhales, exhales. If you're holding that leg, release it. Both hands down to the floor if doable. Laterally rotate out the front leg. Now if you can go to your elbows, go ahead. Again, my hip and my position on the back and front leg don't like that, so I'm staying higher. And then give yourself a little gecko as you rotate open into the hip. Couple inhales, exhales. Then bring yourself back into parallel. Hinge backwards for a hamstring stretch. From here, I'm going to point and flex that front foot, getting a little deeper. This is too deep. You can come higher onto the fists or bring yourself right up, and you can just use that band for the stretch if that feels better. If I'm okay, I'm going to stay down. Bring both your hands to the inside of the front leg. Take that leg, and I want you to sweep it around, but don't let it rest down. I got to move away from my wall here a little bit. So I'm going to sweep it to the side of my body, and then sweep it to face down and back. Sweep it to the side, sweep it down. Notice as you sweep to the side, you kind of lean into this hip. Try and keep it up and down, straight up and down, perpendicular to the floor, which means that the movement is coming from the hip that you are mobilizing side to side. So if you have to lower it down, go right ahead. Now keep it in the back position, and we're going to do bird watch. We're going to do watchdog. Take an inhale, and then lower that foot slightly, reach the opposite arm. We're just going to stay here on this leg, lower and lift. Inhale, exhale. Squeeze the glute. Let's go 4. One arm, opposite leg. 3. Get your shoulder away from your ear. 2. And 1. Hold it out there. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis, belly button pulled in. Push away with that hand on the floor for 3, 2. Bring both hands down and just widen the leg. Push back into that child's pose. Couple little inhales, exhales to recover. We're going to go all the way through that sequence on the other side. So we're going to go and switch out into that pouncing cat, then go from pouncing into the leg driving forward, and then into the arabesque, into attitude, right? We have that whole set to do on the opposite side. Hopefully you remember which leg that is. Bring your legs forward, bring your hands in place. Take your toes, curl them under, step back with one foot, find a slightly supported spine and pelvis, step back with the other. Just start your pouncing cat. Get your head around which foot is going to drive forward here. When you're ready, you're going to drive the knee forward as you come forward over your wrists and then kick it out to the back, right? So we're pulling it in and kicking it out. Again, I like a flexed foot as I kick it out, gets me more stretch. And press, you're pivoting through the hip of the leg that's on the ground. Stay out here in the reach. Rotate open into arabesque. You can point that foot if you want. And then bend that knee for attitude. If you can kind of look to the heel, go ahead. Big breath there. Rotate your hips to the front. And then you're going to actively drive that foot forward, trying to get it onto your TheraBand. From here, I'm going to press up. Again, I didn't get my foot quite far enough forward, so I'm going to step and get it into place. Yes. Come down so you can grab that band. Wrap your hands once. And then get your back foot in a little bit because we're bringing the chest up on the lunge, right? So it's down. So the back knee is bent on this lunge. Yeah. So just kind of give you a better idea of the arm movement on this one. We're going down and we're doing an upright row. So watch your shoulders aren't coming up, right? So it's down and then push that front leg to straight as you pull into your straps. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And press. Watch here, you're not twisting your pelvis. We're keeping it nice and centered. Let's go 2 more. And 1. Now hold it slightly in the down. Turn your back leg into what you'd consider warrior. Inchworm it out. The hand on the front leg, it can relax. Make sure that knee's not in a big internal rotation, right? From here, we're going to row and come center. Start the arm action first. Elbow pulls high, and you do rotate your spine towards the window. towards the window, towards my window. That was a horrendous cue, unless you happen to have a window. And then start that leg press. Push away, draw in. Push away, draw in. Let's go 5. Exhale 4. Rotate that torso. 3. And 2. And 1. Bring it back to the center. Let those straps go. Toss them off. Rotate your back hip to neutral. And slowly bring it down. Yes. So from here, just wiggle to where you need to be. That band doesn't need to be underneath your foot if it's sticking on you. And then just push forward into the hip and press away. Just get a little bit of movement here before we find the hold. That little movement just gets that synovial fluid in the joints just kind of moving around. Let's hold it in the forward, lift the heart, one arm, both arms. If you've got the balance and you want to go deeper into the stretch, you can bind into both or one. I forgot tree, the pyramid, not tree, that pyramid pose. We're going to press back up for one brief moment here, guys, because I know brainer to movement. And it's a nice one to hold. So let's get this stretch first and then we'll come back to the gecko one. Put that foot back down. Think power up, power back up. Rotate that foot back. Take this hand and either rest it on your knee and reach to the sky, or run it along the inside of your leg, reach to the sky. If bind is in your hips, knees, and in your torso for power, go ahead and hold bind. Hold 5, 4, 3, breathing, 2, 1. Come back to center and let's go back down into that position. Sorry about that, guys. Laterally rotate out that hip and just start a little bit of movement left, right. So either both hands are down. If you've got the mobility, your elbows are down. Inhale, exhale, and then go ahead into that little gecko. So I'm going to push into that knee, laterally rotating it out, and rotate myself up towards the sky. Shoulders are drawing down on that movement. That hip is getting a beautiful opener here. Again, I'm higher up. If you can go to the elbow, go for it. Bring yourself back to center, square it off, and push those hips back. Here we're going to get into that little hamstring. Try and untuck the tailbone. If this is a little too tight for you, grab the band, put it around your foot, and you can stay more upright for the stretch, right? Inhale, exhale. Now, both hands to the inside of the front leg. From here, bring this leg more so it's straight out from your hip, and then square up your leg that's on the floor. From there, you're going to hover it. We're going to bring it forward and bring it back. So this is your hip mobility. What you really want to focus on is not letting the leg you're kneeling on go into a side angle and sink out on your greater trochanter. Stay strong in it, which means that leg might be lower down. You might even be having the toe drag on the floor. That would be fine. That would be fine. Inhale, exhale. Let's go 3 and 2. Now hold that leg reaching away. Touch it down slightly. Make sure you're stable on your arms and reach the opposite arm out. Watchdog. Lift, lower. We're staying on the same side. Push away with power with your one arm. Draw your abs up and in. Squeeze that booty. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis. 3 and 2. Now hold the leg reaching, hold the arm reaching, push away from the floor, finding power in your stability arm. 3, 2, 1. Bring everything down, widen out your stance, push back into that child's pose. Give a little wiggle left and right. We're going to come up into elephant down dog, walk to the front of our mat, and then bring ourselves down from standing. So legs in tight, curl those toes, lift. Play here just a little bit. Inhale, exhale, and then walk your feet to your hands this time. So 4, 3, bend the knees when you need to. On 2 and 1, you're all the way in. Look through to your knees, bend your knees, and slowly fold to tall. Nice. Bring yourself to the front of your mat. Have a lateral rotation. And then we're just going to do a big booty squat and sit down. So nice and big. Grab your band while you're down here. If you don't like it, just go ahead and sit. Otherwise, roll to set. Beautiful. Just lay that band across your torso. And then we're going to go diamond roll back just to get that lower back a little more open. Grab behind the knees. Sit nice and tall. My heels to my bum are a good 5, fists away. Exhale. Tuck your tailbone under as you roll back. Don't lose your chin in your chest, but hollow out. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Move that little insulation forward and backwards. Lumbar spine is vertical to the earth. Thoracic and cervical are rounding forward to get that stretch. And then peel it up. Let's go again. Exhale, scoop. So a little more lower back and hip stretch. When you come forward, go through your legs and grab. So you might need to bring your feet in closer in order to get into that position. Shoulders away from the ears. Lumbar and sacrum vertical to the earth. Thoracic rounding. Cervical rounded. Pull your hips back. Breathe as big as you physically can into the back breath. Again, super hard place to find the breath. Brilliant for stretching out and getting into all those intercostal muscles and that lower back. Stack it to tall, reach those legs forward. Beautiful. Take that band, make your tails equal somewhat on each side. I've got a little lateral rotation going, right? So I'm in a bit of a turnout, and I'm just going to reach forward and put it over the ball of my foot, and it's just going over my pinky toes as well. My heels are together, and then I'm going to take my heels and pivot them, so now I'm in parallel position. So I went from lateral, and then I just pushed my heels into my parallel. From here, I'm going to wrap my hands and row, sitting super tall. So my legs are about sits bones difference. If I'm having a hard time sitting tall, I am up on a prop, right? So I can get that neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And I'm just really focusing on the rowing action, trying to bring my shoulder blades, in theory, together behind my back. The tighter you hold the band, the more resistance you're going to get. Totally up to you. Pulse it back here. 5, 4. Watch when you pulse, you're not pulling up, right? Shoulders away from the ears, elbows down and back. 4, 3. Trying to deactivate the upper traps and activate middle and lower traps. Reach it forward. Cross your strap. Cross your strap. Whatever hand is on the bottom anchors. Whatever hand is on the top wraps. Pull your shoulders so it's equal to your ear in line, and then rotate. So again, super tighten the hamstrings in the lower back, prop up or bend the knees. Inhale, exhale, cut the room in half with your vision, rotate that around. So spine twist in a way, because we're moving the arm, it's a bit different. Go 2 more. Now hold that hand anchored into your rib, shoulder drawn down, and just move your rib cage. Kind of peek at your legs, make sure they're the same length from left to right, and you haven't taken a walk with your pelvis. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way back. Right now you need to switch the hand on top. So switch the strap completely, anchor your bottom arm, wrap your top, stack your shoulders, and when you're ready, add your rotation. Push out with your toes slightly so your feet are not sickling in. You don't have an internal rotation of the feet. You have them active. Toes are pointing to the sky. Bring that elbow in nice and low. The tendency will be to tuck the chin and kind of dip back. Stay tall. Get your chin out of your chest. Go 3 more. Rotate through the rib cage. And now hold that hand into your ribs, little pulse. Peek as you're doing this, that the hips are the same distance forward and backwards. You haven't walked one leg into shorter position. 3, 2, 1, back to center, unfold that. Take your feet in tight. Parallel, in tight. And that band is just around the toes, the ball of the foot, the arch. If you don't cramp, you could put a pointing toe into this. I cramp, so I'm not going there. I'm gonna double up my rotation. I'm going to scoot back, and as I scoot back, I'm going to tabletop my legs. My head's not going down. I'm staying in cervical. Now I'm going to push my legs out, and I'm just going to follow that and come to tall. Now be mindful here. As I came to tall, I pulled to one side of my mat. So as you come to tall, you should be in the center of your mat still. Scoop off, drag your feet in equally. That's coming from your core. Head stays up looking at the knees. Push actively into both legs, and as you push, use a little bit of momentum to bring it up, but stay in the middle. Let's go again. Scoop, roll it back. One more time. Push into those legs, find that sweet spot, and roll it up. Now this time we're going to roll back and the head's going all the way down. If you need a head pad, go ahead. I'm going to anchor my elbows, extend my legs, and I'm going to do my lower lift. Zipper up those abs. Now if this is super difficult, bend your knees and do more of a double leg toe tap versus a lower lift extension. Zipper the abs. Watch that you're not pushing to one side or the other. So every once in a while, if you want to roll up a little bit and look at the sides of your mat and make sure you haven't kind of pushed predominantly to left or right, go right ahead. Let's go 4 more. I'm in a supported pelvis, neutral spine, and I'm really trying not to change that. Now, if this is working for you, we're going to change the arms. Hold in the up position, unwrap the hands, grab it quite loose to the end, especially if you have a 6-footer, and then hold your arms pushing out to the sides. So I'm just now going to have much less movement, but I'm stabilizing my shoulders, holding into position. This is going to turn into teaser. So if this is difficult, you are still with bent knee option. So from here, as my legs lower, I'm going to cervical nod. I'm going to roll off my sits bone. So I'm using that roll off my back, using that little bit of momentum. I'm going to hold my teaser. If you can keep the legs straight, go ahead. If you can push that band out to the side or higher up, go ahead. Scoop those abs, bend the knees, or keep the legs straight and roll it down. So I'm going to bend. Inhale, cervical nod, push into those legs. Find your teaser. Inhale, keep. Exhale, scoop. And lower it down. One more time. Cervical nod. Lengthen it up. Inhale, keep it nice and strong. And then exhale, scoop, bend the knees, float the head down. Slide that band off your feet and just put it on the top of your knees for a moment and just allow yourself a little knee sway. So it doesn't matter where the band goes. I just happen to have it over my knee joint and it's joining my knee sway. I'm not using it in resistance or anything. It just happens to be there. Inhale, exhale as you go. We're going to go into hundreds with the band. So go ahead and find that band just in your hands. Tails equal on both sides. That is going to be important. Take yourself into a supported pelvis, neutral spine. Take an inhale for nothing. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. Squeeze the legs tight if you can. If you need them slightly open, that's good too. Cervical nod. Roll up and place that band over the mid part of your shin. Then keep the roll up. Take your thumbs, reach actively, and just gently hold that band. Once we're here, we're going to start a little padding action. When you paddle, the knees are going to go boop, 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 boop. Try and keep the shins as still as you can. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. If this is difficult on your neck, make sure you're rolling up. 30. If it's still difficult, you're going to work just as hard if you roll down. 40. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 50. Roll those shoulder blades off the mat. 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 60. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, squeeze those legs together, 70. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 80. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. Last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 100. Grab behind the legs, roll it down. Stretch your legs out fully. Give them a little paddle. Just kind of move them through the knee joint, opening up that hip. We're going to do a little bit of tabletop just to open up the hips a bit more. So bring your feet into hook line and then bring them up. Roll yourself. Fingers point towards your booty. If that's super tight on your shoulders, fingers point out. They just do not point backwards. Heels fairly close in. I'm just going to lift my hips, activate my glutes, and open my hip flexors. I'm looking down my body. If you're okay, you can look up. And then bring your booty down. Exhale, tabletop. And bring it down. Do squeeze those glutes as you lift. Exhale, squeeze the butt, tabletop. And bring it down. This time we're just going to hold it up there. Hold it for 5. Squeeze that butt. 4. Pull those abs in. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that down. Relax it out. Roll those wrists. Give a little paddle into the legs. So we're just going to go into our side bend 1. You won't need the band initially. Place it to the side. And then I just want you to bring your knees up and fold yourself to the front. Now in side bend, if you have pressure point in the elbow, you can wrap up your mat, right? Or put a pad underneath. I want to make sure that that shoulder isn't sinking. So the first thing I'm going to focus on is if I can see my shoulder blade or my shoulder poking out, I'm going to push it down and back and lift my rib cage. And then I'm going to sink again. And then I'm going to push it down and back. Now I'm going to keep it down and back and let the ribs lift up and down. My greater trochanter, my booty right now is down. This is my first level, right? Now if that's like, okay, that's happening, I feel good. I'm going to bring my knees back a bit. So instead of having them tucked forward, I'm going to push them back so my heels are actually quite a ways behind my bum. And then I'm going to press into my hips and lift. If this is feeling good, I'm going to actively reach that top leg. It can touch or you can keep it reaching. Now, holding this position, imagine there's a hand underneath your ribs, lower lift. Lower lift. If you're feeling good, you're going to step this foot in bent position forward so you can straighten out your bottom leg. Then I can leave that leg down in front or I can actively place it on top. Down and up. Down and up. Side bend 1. Let's go 4. Tough one on the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up here. Working for you, arm goes. Still working for you, leg comes up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Everything comes down. Pull the legs into your mermaid. Drop that hip. So that arm just activated and got some work, and now we're going to give it a little tricep work. So we're going to go into mermaid, we're going to tuck it behind and spin our chest around. This hand can be down, in the small of the back, or reaching. So I'm going to dip. Tendency will be to flex. You need to squeeze the glute and lift the back leg so you can stay either neutral or when you come up, a slight extension. If it's still working for you, that arm reaches. Still working for you, the back leg extends. As I'm doing this, there is pressure in this hand, tucked in, shoulder down, into my tricep. So I am doing a tricep push-up here. Let's go 4 more, and lift, and 3, last 2, and now hold it out there. So I'm holding an isometric hold. My chest is lifted. I'm slightly rotated, holding 5, 4, 3, 2. Push away. And then tuck that heel in a little tighter. Sink your hip. Now you know this one. If the sink of the hip feels good, soon as I feel ready, I'm going to start to lift the hip more. I could put weight into my back hand and start, yeah, you got it, and start to extend open. So it's down and lift. Go 1 more for me. Keep the lift. Keep the lift. Look to that back hand that's on the floor. 4, 3, 2, and slowly bring those hips down. So we have side bend 1 on the other side. Swing the legs around, and then just start with the knees back a little bit. Come down to your elbow. So find your happy place on the elbow. Greater trochanter stays engaged. Knees are not forward, they're actually pushing back, causing me to have to really open up my torso here. Let your shoulder dip forward and then push it down and back. Let it kind of drive forward, and then take your fingers and literally push it back and retract. Once you have that, maintain that, and now that little lift of the ribs. As you dip the ribs down, don't sink. Keep lifted into your lats. Now, if that's working for you, that's where you stay. If you're okay, you're going to push those knees back a bit more and press up. As you press up, pull your pelvis forward so your body's between 2 panes of glass. And now we're going to lift and lower. Feeling good, stretch that leg out. Still good, lift it higher. Still working for you, bend, put it forward to find yourself stable. Lift and extend your bottom leg. You might have to put your hand down. Both legs on top if doable. And now we're going to lower, lift. Lower, lift. 4, you can reach that hand to the sky if you want. 3, 2, and then we're going to do an isometric hold. Hold it not in lateral flexion, but neutral, and bring up that top leg. Bring up the bottom leg. Give it a try. 5, 4, push away with your shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Knee down, hip down. Pull in for your mermaid. Beautiful. All right, so just give that little bit of movement into the hip, let that relax off, and then we're going to go right into our rotational. So this hand is lined up with the greater trochanter at the back of my butt. It's there. My elbows tucked in, my shoulders tucked down, and I'm just going to start with both going. Remember, you're going to lift that bottom back leg. Lift. When it feels good, you're going to extend it if you can. Still okay, the arm goes into the small of the back. Harder, the arm goes forward. Why is it harder? It's heavy. It's heavy, and we've moved it away from the center of our gravity, the center of our line of center. Go 3 more. I know, I'm still not getting it. Center of gravity. Oh my God. LOC, line of center, line of gravity. I don't know what it's called. The middle of our body. And it gets just freaking harder. Go 1 more time. Hold it there. I'm having a large moment today. 5, 4, lift that heart. 3, 2, press it all the way out. Tuck that knee in and drop into the hip. That was really hard for me to explain. And I know you guys understood it. Hand goes in place. And then as I lift up, I'm going to add that little opener, right? Down and up. Go as far as you feel comfortable. Go whatever speed works for you. And lift. Down and lift. Let's go 2 more. And on this last one, we're going to stay in the up. Reach it. Look to the back hand. Push those hips forward so I have extension happening in thoracic and cervical. Bring it all the way down, and we're going to go into deeper extension. We are going to do double leg kick. If you don't need the band, you don't have to use it, but have the band so that you can do the shoulder extension work once we let go of our hands. I'm going to double mine so it doesn't have too much elasticity, and then I'm going to roll over onto my belly. So before I go anywhere, I'm going to laterally rotate just gently to find the corners of my mat, where my big toe is more down to the floor versus my top of my foot down. And then I'm going to lie right down. I'm going to take that band into the small of my back. I'm going to pop off this microphone before I'm starting to eat it. And then I'm going to turn a cheek. So if I'm able to interlace and let my shoulders still drop like I would in Superman, where everything is just dropped in the setup position, I would do that. If that is too tight in my shoulders, I'll grab the band about as wide as my waistline is. And then see how my elbows and my shoulders totally relax down now? So from here, we're going to do 3 kicks into our booty. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm just holding the feet flexed. As I reach my legs away, my arms are attached to my legs. They're going to reach. I'm going to turn my head to face the center, draw those abs in, and I've got extension now in quite a few spots. I'm going to turn my cheek, small of the back, 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3. Exhale and reach. If you're doing an opposite breath, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Inhale, 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 exhale. Watch the head's not leading. It's lifted. Thoracic and cervical are lengthening. Inhale, inhale, exhale, extend open. 2 more. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Reach and exhale. 1 more time. Really pull those abs off the floor, you guys. 2, 3. Hold it here. If the back is kicking in, either pull the abs in deeper or lower the legs. Grab your band if you were using your hands and lift and lower into extension of the shoulders. I'm still in neutral pelvis, but I am lifted as high as I physically can, which isn't super high in my body, into extension through thoracic and cervical. Your abs are gently drawn in, but not so tight that it's restricting you finding extension. There's a happy balance. Let's go 2 more into those arm extensions, and 1, and then just leave that band over your back. Push yourself back into whatever recovery seems to be calling your name. And if that means just lying down flat on your belly, that's good too. Give a little movement into your neckline. Child's pose or tall or whatever feels natural here. Inhale, exhale. Throw that band just off to the side so it's not going to bother you. When you're ready, no rush. And then peel yourself up so you're in kneeling. We're going to place the hands strong and come up into our elephant or down dog. So find that connection into the floor. Lift, and the hamstrings worked on that exercise. So let's paddle them out. All right, so I'm paddling my toes first, especially if you were really pointing your foot. The bottom of your foot might be a bit tight. And then let's get the calf and the hamstring stretch. Drop your heels, drop into your chest. Super tight, lift the heels, bend the knees. Couple little inhales, exhales, let your head just relax. Don't hold any tension in it. Abs are gently drawn in. In this position, if it's comfortable for you, gentle poodle wag. Wiggling your tailbone from left to right. Go slow and try and literally drop that hip off to one side. So the one arm's really holding me quite strong here. And then I'm going to drop it off to the other side. Super tight in the hammies and can't get the movement. Heels lifted, knees bent, and then drop. So more important right now is the poodle wag versus the stretch in the hammies and feet. Then when you're ready, we're going to walk our hands into our feet in 4. Palms down, so bend the knees if you can't get your palm down. 3, 2, and 1. Give me an unsupported or a supported ragdoll. Look through your legs, let your head be at the very end of your spine, just dangling inverted, nice and heavy. Cycle your breath. I'm swaying very gently. I just feel like a transfer of weight from heel to toes. Subtle. There's no lifting of the foot at all. I'm just swaying. And then bend the knees. Slowly start to fold up, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll those shoulders. Beautiful. Take your time. Give a few little wiggles. And then we're going to reach the arms through the center, spread out our fingers and pull our palms back. Open that, look over to one side, lift your heart nice and big for me, you guys. And then on the exhale, I'm just going to wrap my hands and pull my shoulders and my spine forward into a little bit of flexion. And then I'm going to go the opposite direction, lift the heart and open, big breath. I'm extending here. And then opposite arm on top, little bit of a heart hug hold, big breath. Let your arms just dangle, stack your spine, and finish with a swan dive to the sky. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, hands down, center heart. And we are done.